What is up, y'all? It's your girl, brand new, and honey, I am back in the building. This time, honey, I'm back for a recap of Real Housewives of Potomac. This is for part 2 of the reunion. So, honey, let's get off into it. Alright, guys, so basically the reunion picks up where it left off last time, with Wendy stating that Gizelle has a pattern of behavior when it comes to other people's marriages. She always attacks the husband. And, try to put the man out there to be a liar, a cheater, a deceiver. Okay, all the things, honey, that Mr. Jamal Bryant has been to her. Okay? That's what's very interesting with Gizelle. I noticed that with her. Everything is about how somebody's man is cheating on them. It always correlates with what she went through with Jamal. Candace also jumps in and says instead of talking about her own personal story, she is always, messing with other people's families. And that's true. Gizelle is the master of deflection. They call her one of the producers of the show. I don't know who gave her that title, but to me, she's a horrible producer. Now, is she messy and can she keep a story going? Yes. Right? She does that very well, but Gizelle is missing authenticity. She, for whatever reason, doesn't really like to talk about her own life. She would rather throw different castmates under the bus. Gizelle doesn't come off as anyone's friend on this show. It's very clear that she is very tight and cool and besties with Robin, but I don't think she really cares for the rest of the ladies like that. Even Ashley, I think Ashley is even used. Oh, well, I know Ashley's life is always in shambles, so, I'm not jealous of her, so I don't mind relating to her. There are women that are like that. If they don't see you as a threat, then they don't mind, being friendly with you. I think Gizelle sees Wendy as a threat, like her having all those degrees. She got a nice looking husband. She's jealous of Wendy, I feel. I really picked up on it, guys. Put it in the comments what you all think, but I really picked up that, because she said, it seemed like several times on the reunion, I don't like her, and she was referring to Wendy. I was like, why you gotta keep letting us know you don't like her? We get it. I also noticed that Andy was listening to everything Candace was saying about Gizelle and, how she uses the show to lie about other people's husbands. Andy was like really laser focused. And this is kind of the first reunion where we kind of see him hold Gizelle's feet to the fire, so I was surprised by that. But honey, when I tell you Candace was laying into Gizelle, okay, and calling her out on her bullshiggity, on her mediocrity, okay, and that is something that Virgos do. Dark-sided Virgos, y'all love sitting on the sidelines, being up in everybody else's business, and you don't really want to share your own. Okay? Candace brought up the fact that Gizelle mentioned that Chris needed to apologize to her for what he did to her. Candace then said what exactly did he do? And you could see Gizelle like shaking her head like, yeah, he should just apologize because I felt uncomfortable. If you felt that uncomfortable with that man, you wouldn't have went with him to any room to talk. So this is a convenient storyline. Like Candace said, you had seen her in the past 6 months. You could have let her know that, you felt like her husband was being inappropriate or made you uncomfortable. If it was a real issue, you would have been brought it up. But Gizelle maintains, no, I brought it up because of Ashley. Ashley began saying that he kind of made her feel uncomfortable too. And exactly, you need an audience. Okay, her bringing Ashley into it is just convenient to me. You wanted this to be a storyline so you could deflect. But guess what, guys? Gizelle deflects because for a certain number of years, they have allowed her to get away with that behavior. So it's like, if it works and I still get a check at the end of the day, why would I stop doing it? Okay, so Andy asked Gizelle, so was it that you were uncomfortable with being alone with Chris, or he actually did something to make you feel uncomfortable? Gizelle says, well, this is semantics. Andy said, honey, it totally is semantics. I mean, from, based off of what you said. Exactly. And Candace told the woman, you are not that smart. And here goes Gizelle, I actually am. No, Gizelle, she just read you, sis. You didn't catch that. And she's younger than you. Okay? That was her way of telling you, broad, I got your number. Okay? But Gizelle, you're not very smart because you didn't even think out this whole storyline. I cannot wait, you guys, till Chris gets on the couch and get her together. Okay, I just can't wait. I don't think it will do anything, to Gizelle. It ain't gonna make her cry. It may not make her, change her behavior. But at least he will lay into her, honey, okay? Because she needs somebody to get her together. Gizelle says to Candace, Candace, I feel like you made this bigger. Once again, being dismissive. Gizelle is disrespectful. She's acting nonchalant. This is this woman's husband. She loves him. They pay bills together. You don't have that, Gizelle. You have these little boyfriends that come and go every other season. I highly doubt that you would want anybody attacking your man, your husband, if you was to ever have one on this here show. So, like, for her, you guys, to act insensitive towards, Candace and her feelings about this, it's really disgusting. And Mia, what is you doing? Mia says, yeah, Candace, you could have just said, okay. Mia, shut up. Okay, you in enough bullshiggity. And that Jacqueline, honey, she ready for you. Okay, child, when Candace told Mia to shut up, honey, I was here for it. Shut up. Because Mia, what was you doing? Girl, this ain't your segment. Be quiet. So Gizelle says, no, Chris wasn't inappropriate. I was just uncomfortable. That's not what you've been saying on the show, ma'am. Okay, like, your story is not consistent. That's because it's a lie that you didn't think through. Okay, so they go over the footage of Chris talking to Deborah. He's being very basic and standard with her, very respectful. Yeah, my name is Chris. Yeah, Chris is a very common name. Just very, like, basic stuff. Like, all the lying that these women have did on this show is just like crazy when it comes to like bashing Chris's name, like making it look like he's this predator. Like, ugh, it's so disgusting. And they were all like lying and reaching while doing it, because you guys, production embarrassed the crap out of these women. They really did, because nothing that they showed Chris flirting with Deborah. Nothing that they showed him flirting with Mia or anybody. It's like the women on this show are not used to a man being nice and respectful to them. I think Wendy had mentioned that. And look at the women that's accusing Chris. You got Ashley that has been cheated on by Michael Darby several times. He always embarrasses her, right? You got GIZELLE with all of that PTSD that she got from all of what Jamal put her through. He was cheating on her while they was married. Okay. Now she to the point, now she's scared to really get serious with anybody. I think it's something like really wrong with GIZELLE, you guys. I really do. I think like she's traumatized by what may have happened with her and Jamal. And we saw what happened with Sherman. Monique came after Sherman, but Monique is not the complete reason for why Sherman didn't want to be on this show. Okay? He wasn't that invested, obviously, in you, because he knew you was one of the stars of the show. So why even get involved with you? You know, so I feel like GIZELLE still has not healed from that, you guys. Andy asked Ashley, well, when you saw the footage of Chris interacting with Deborah, you know, like, how did you feel about that? Ashley said she was surprised because Deborah's words didn't align with what she saw, you know, from the footage. But I'm looking at her like, Ashley, you and Deborah is one and the same, because you tried to act like Chris was trying to holler at you when really he was trying to invite you and your friends out to come to his restaurant / bar grill, you know, that he manages. So you sitting up here trying to throw Deborah out there, but you one and the same with her. You heifers is reaching. You're reaching, and you got a man on the show that actually cheats on his wife, girlfriend, fiance of 10 plus years, Robin. Okay, you got the Robin and Juan situation. That's what's really funny about all of this. That's why I know Candace and Wendy was pissed when that Juan situation came out here, and then Mia was trying to, not Mia, the Sesame Street girl, Deborah. She tried to say Happy Eddie tried to holler at her. Girl, not looking like that. Fine as that man is, and he want to look at you, girl, stop playing with us, okay? Child, they is just too much. Even Andy pointed out that the Happy Eddie thing was a reach. Exactly, it's ridiculous. And Andy, real talk, you need to let Katie come back to the show, because at least she got a real storyline. She getting her life together. Okay? That's a good storyline. We could see Katie go to therapy. We could see Katie get it together because, and I don't want to hear this bullshiggity about what Katie's mind ain't right. These heifers' minds ain't right. Look at what they doing. This show is not based on truth anymore. That's why it's a big circus full of clowns. Wendy brings up the fact that the men in the group, and I'm thinking she's talking about her husband and Chris, they are kind of in fear of really talking to the women in this group because they are scared they're gonna be pegged as this or that. I mean, and I see what she's saying because these men ain't even around like that, and y'all be just flat out lying on them. Like, it's crazy. Like, I would feel so disrespected. If I was Chris Bassett, I would sue Giselle. I would. Defamation. Don't you get out here lying on me, making it look like, you know, I tried to pull the wool over your eyes, honey. Like, don't do it. They get on Candace's Instagram post with her calling the ladies fake and, you know, she can't trust nobody. And now something I was confused about was, I believe Candace had mentioned she wasn't really talking about Robin or Karen. And it's like, Candace, really? Them the people that have thrown you under the bus too, though. Because we got Robin with this whole thing of putting you out there on Front Street in front of the girls. This your big sis. This the woman you trust and love so much, right? She put you out there on blast in front of everybody with this Instagram post. And you, yeah, but I always looked up to her why? Why when you see the behavior is not mutual? She don't feel that way about you, sweetie. Once she gets with Giselle, it's a wrap for you. And you know Giselle don't see it for you because you won't be a puppet to her. Okay? So I was confused by that. Like, Wendy and you need to be getting closer. Seriously. And y'all need to stand for something and stop trying to fit with these girls. Because if they feel like y'all trying to fit in with them, they're not going to change. They don't have a reason to change. Robin said she was sent that clip from a blog. Long story short, Robin thought that Candace was attacking her. And I guess Mia and Karen and, you know, because those are the people that have businesses. What does Ashley do? What does Ashley do that's a business? She got some type of yoga thing. Giselle just kind of got this business with you, Robin, which is a podcast. All of y'all all of y'all are business women because all of y'all got a little something going on for you somewhere. I'm not buying what Robin said. Candace came at her and was like, well, I would have called you up if I would have felt a way. Candace, the key word is that's what you would have did. She does not see you as a friend. You're not her friend. Giselle is her friend. So we have to stop feeling a certain way about people that don't really feel that way about us, because if they really did, it would show in their actions. Robin is full of it, honey. Production got on her. Because she tells Candace, well, everything we do, it should be filmed on camera. You know, you get upset because stuff is done on camera. Meanwhile, your man has cheated on you. And this is before y'all got married. And it didn't make it on the camera. Now, isn't that convenient, Robin? Like, Robin, at this point, girl, stop talking. Because you contradicting yourself. You indicting your own self. Okay? Like, girl, stop it. Stop playing in our face, Robin. So production played the Watch What Happens live between Robin and Andy, where he grilled her about the whole Juan situation. And Candace, I guess, had tweeted out that she's disappointed and angry and frustrated with Robin because she withheld information from the show. And Robin says, well, what does what I'm going through have to do with her and Chris? I could tell you, Robin, your stuff is real. Your man cheating on you, dishonoring you before y'all wedding, that's real. Okay? And you didn't put that on camera, but you sat up here with your fellow green-eyed bandit friend GIZELLE, and you watched her concoct bullshiggity about this lady's husband. That's where the problem is. Like, her and GIZELLE, you guys, are they delusional, or are they just, it's like there's no feelings, there's no emotions on how they treat other people. It's like they don't care. And I say Andy need to take that check away, and that'll make them care. Okay, you remember what GIZELLE said on somebody's show? Oh, that's just social media. Social media don't pay me. Girl, social media has a lot of influence. They really do. So you need to pay attention and be humble and care about it. To me, all these women are comfortable, you guys. They get in a check, and that's why they behave and act the way that they do. And they are not being held accountable. It looked like he trying to do it now, but I think it's convenient even on Andy's part, because it's kind of like, oh, I'll get on them now that people are complaining to me. And I'm pretty sure people are writing him about their deplorable behavior. Child, they have to break for lunch. I thought that it was so funny that Andy forgot what he had to say. But anyways, we see Chris Bassett. He greets Candace. They do like some sort of fist pump. You got Eddie and Wendy. She kisses him, and then she tells him, Mia done brought your name up about 4 or 5 times. Eddie like, huh? What? Exactly. It's crazy. So they get on GIZELLE's package with her new circular driveway. They include Karen in it. And I'm just confused as to why Karen was even sitting by Andy. GIZELLE shouldn't have been sitting by Andy. The two people, in my opinion, that should have been sitting by Andy is Candace. And who else? It should have been Candace and Wendy. Just looking at the people on the side. I didn't even understand why Wendy was on the same side as GIZELLE. That was weird. But yeah, it should have been Candace or Wendy, or even like Mia and Candace. And then you sit GIZELLE and the rest of the girls. But like, I didn't understand like the seating chart at all. It was just weird. And because Karen had no storyline, like nothing. Everything she pretty much did was a big piggyback off of Robin and GIZELLE and their podcast. She calls her show a variety show. She had mentioned to Andy she's going to give him a ticket to her show. Andy didn't look thrilled or impressed, like, yeah, I want to come to your show. He was like, oh, okay, that's nice. That's cute, girl. Okay, the grand dame, like Karen girl, I know you happy you got your little fan base. But like, you need to do more that we care about, because honey, Miss Robinson don't care. Okay? I don't. I'm happy for Karen, guys, but I don't feel like she brings so much like to the show, like for her to be sitting by Andy. I don't get it. Karen said her friendship with Wendy Williams sparked her reality show. No, sparked her variety show, my bad. And then Carol Burnett inspired it. And it's like, which one, Karen? But I guess both. I don't see neither, because at least when Wendy was doing her hot topics, honey, she was interesting and she had personality. It just looked like with Karen, she's playing off of people and playing in our face too. Okay. Child, Andy congratulates Robin and Giselle on the success of their Reasonably Shady podcast. I guess they have recorded over 80 shows. They got over 4 million downloads. Robin said neither her or Giselle ever watched any podcast before they got their own. And Wendy said, well, that's not wise. It sure isn't. Okay, because, honey, even Miss Robinson, honey, had to study the girls before she got on the microphone. Okay, shout out to Forest Rocks, Socialite Sandy, honey. Okay, them was the two people that I watched first. But yeah, like y'all didn't watch anybody. But to me, you guys, their show is dry. They don't seem to have any talent or intellect, honey. You know, they just there. Okay, what more can I say? They just there. Y'all hear what Robin said to Wendy? Well, we're still successful. Don't hate. What does she have to hate on with that fine husband that's not cheating and them 4+ degrees and plus all these other businesses, honey, she's involved in? I heard her home decor line is doing well. Like, y'all know, Wendy got candles and, you know, different stuff for the house. So what does she have to be jealous of? So I guess a fan questioned Karen and basically, why did she copy the girls? You know, she copied Robin and Giselle. Do I think she copied them? Yeah. She claimed she didn't copy Wendy as far as the candle because she had already announced to the people, I guess, that bought her fragrance, La Dame, oh, I'm going to be, you know, coming out with candles. She did say that it would be a whole line of products. I do remember that. So I don't think that was copied from Wendy. And Karen mentioned in the scene with Wendy, when Wendy came to visit her, you know, and was trying to get some type of business advice, she didn't want to make it about her stuff. She wanted to really just focus on Wendy and her candle line. And I was like, okay, Karen, that's cool. So they talk about Gizelle's hysterectomy that she had done. Giselle said, well, out of all the 7 seasons of me being on this show, you know, that's the biggest feedback I got from women, saying that, you know, they understood how I felt about possibly, you know, not having a uterus and all the pain that came with it. Candace said, because it's the first time you were actually real about something. I said, bloop. Okay, that's true. Giselle, we need to see more of this human, emotional, vulnerable side to you. And you let it out on this reunion. She got to tearing up when talking about her girls and, you know, I guess her sister was there at the hospital with her, and normally, you know, they keep updating the person every hour on the hour about, you know, how surgery went for, you know, their loved one. And I guess her sister and her girls were left in the dark for hours about her condition. They didn't know that she was going to pull through. So, you know, Giselle got really emotional with that. Rightfully so, right? That's like life-threatening. But yeah, she begins to cry, and then, you know, you return back as cold as ice, okay? And it's just like, Giselle, that right there, that's your problem. Like this stoicism you have about yourself where, I don't know, it's kind of like you want to hide a certain part of yourself, and it's okay for the other girls to be vulnerable. It's okay for you to throw them under the bus, but you don't want nobody judging you. You got to work on that. And she really needs to work on that through therapy. Because as she was like tearing up, she said, yeah, we'll talk about this later. And Andy was like, no, we're going to talk about this now. Like, let's have this moment where you are expressing yourself. And, she was uncomfortable, with doing that. And I think Giselle is one of those people where she feels comfortable with like playing a role. But to me, this is reality TV. And people normally like people and have a connection and a bond with people that are being real, that are being honest, that are being transparent. The very things you avoid doing on this show. So it's like, if you want to be an actress, go get in a movie or on a TV show. But this is supposed to be about your real life. And you hide it. You and Robin. That's why y'all are friends. Y'all play the same game. And the jig is up. Because it looked like Andy about ready to snatch, them checks away. I would have been took them. Y'all wouldn't have made it this far with this foolishness. This season was horrible. But y'all remember Giselle went around, on all these interviews. Oh, this the best season yet. The girls was really accountable. Honey, you the main girl and you ain't accountable for nothing. You don't feel bad when you hurt and disrespect people. Like there's nothing human about you. We don't really see the human side unless you are talking about your girls. And you're one of those women where you perform motherhood. You're only sensitive when you're talking about your children. But what about these other people's children? What about the women on the show? She doesn't have a connection to them, you guys. It's just, oh, they on the show. That's it. Like, that's not good enough. And then y'all be comparing her to Nene. She ain't nowhere being on Nene's level at all. Kenya's level. Okay, at all. Andy also got on the fact that Giselle is always poking and prodding, at the other ladies, asking them questions about their lives. But, I think Andy was like, well, why didn't we hear more about your health condition on the show? And Giselle got to saying, well, it depends on what production want to show y'all. And, and when we out with the girls, I'm not going to be sitting up here with, she didn't say their names, but with Wendy or Karen telling my personal business, I don't like certain people. I'm not going to share my situation with them. Now, was it me or did y'all hear Mia trying to chime in? Yeah, because you came at me, cancer or no cancer. I'm like, Mia, shut up. Okay, shut up. Because 1 minute you on this heifer side, the next minute you against her. Girl, like, figure out what game you playing today. But they get to talking about her new boyfriend. He's cute. They get to asking, Andy got to asking, has the girls met him? Yeah, they all went out to lunch. They liked him. I guess she got some sex from him before the reunion. Good for her. She says, no, Andy said, well, if y'all are still dating, when the show comes back, will we get to see the relationship on the show? She says, yes. I don't believe it. I believe she gonna be broken up with that man. Giselle strikes me as somebody that's not looking to get serious with anybody. She's emotionally closed. She's emotionally unavailable. She has walls up. You could just tell. She likes this younger guy just to, have fun with him, which is cool, but it's kind of like, it's yet again another distraction from like keeping you from living within your truth. Cause it's like, you don't want to get too close with anybody, like maybe your age, cause they will see right through you. Okay. So ciao, bye. they get on Wendy's package of her, having all the kidney stones. She says she's been doing better with that. She's been drinking a ton of water and she has had to change her diet. Andy got on Wendy about her entering into the restaurant business, and he's like, well, why would you do it? You already have all these degrees and jobs. And y'all remember Wendy, she put it out there on Carlos King's podcast that, she's Nigerian and she's pretty much did everything her mother wanted her to do. But, she wanted to dip her toe into some different businesses, right? She wants to learn herself. So I guess she's being, experimental on her dime. So, ain't nothing wrong with that. She said she talked to Ashley and Candace about the restaurant business, and I was like, Ashley, but I forgot that groundhog restaurant, honey, where they was selling that nasty stuff to the people that the people didn't want, honey. Okay. And Candace used to work at a restaurant with Chris, and her husband is always working, with food. So he's very experienced in the restaurant business. So, she wanted to pick their brain. But Ashley said Wendy did good by teaming up with Peter, because Peter does have a lot of experience. Andy get to asking Mia what's her relationship or, with Peter. And she says that G and Peter, her husband, are friends. And I guess Mia and G used to sleep with Peter's ex-girlfriend. Andy gets on Mia for throwing the drink on Wendy. And he's just like, well, I don't really get why you threw a drink at her. She didn't say a lot of disrespectful things, about your husband. Mia got to saying, well, she was just saying all types of things. No, she wasn't, Mia. No, she wasn't. You're immature. You lack self-control. Like the way you just kept coming at that woman, you tried to hit her with your purse. Like you really landed, and kudos to Wendy, because I would have grabbed you and I wouldn't have let go. Okay? I wouldn't have let go. I probably would have strangled Mia, because you was doing too much. And Wendy's feelings was hurt about the whole incident. Like she cried several times, you guys, on this reunion about how disrespected she felt and how nobody really stood up and said that, this is wrong. And you got Giselle talking about, oh, well, I don't like her. So, Giselle was telling Andy, I don't like her, so I ain't gonna stand up for her. Why would I stand up for her? And it's just it don't matter if you like her. Right is right and wrong is wrong. They even talked about the whole situation with Monique and what was the difference between, Mia throwing a drink at Wendy and Monique and Candace fight. And here you got Giselle being as nasty as she could be. Well, I just feel like Candace got beat up. See, because she's mad at Candace, she wants to say, well, Monique just beat Candace up. But before it was, well, Candace didn't deserve that. And Monique attacked her. Your verbiage was that. And I was like, ooh, Giselle, you are low down, gutter, you nasty, you despicable. I didn't like her saying that Candace got beat up. I don't care. I think that that's so insensitive, so disrespectful. It's disgusting. Mia accuses Wendy of screwing Peter, and Wendy accused Mia of screwing for lobster. Now that I believe, honey. Okay, they was showing Mia eating that lobster, honey. I was cracking up. Child, when Wendy said you screwing for lobsters, and Mia said I'm not denying it, child, that was just a key for me. Okay, I don't believe anything that Mia says. She's another Giselle. She's another Ashley. She's another Deborah. Just always coming with a lie. Okay, a lie don't care who tell it. Okay. I don't believe that Wendy was trying to sleep with Peter and all of that. Like, why would she ruin all that chocolate that she got, over there with Eddie? Honey, Eddie is, whew, he is fine, honey. Peter fine too, okay? So ain't nothing wrong with Peter, but she don't want no Peter. They get on Robin calling Wendy antagonistic. And Andy was like, well, yeah, how is Wendy antagonistic when she got a drink thrown on her? And Robin got to saying, yeah, but, because she wouldn't, leave Mia alone. She just kept saying stuff to her. So I'm just like, you either go fight or, like be quiet. If you don't want to fight, then just let it go. She has just been disrespected. Like I keep trying to reiterate to you guys, and I keep pausing because I'm flabbergasted at how her and GIZELLE, it's almost as if, guys, they don't have any feelings or emotions for anybody like else on the cast. They can't put themselves in nobody's shoes. There's no empathy. There's no sympathy for how Wendy was embarrassed that night. It was just, she's the professor. She just supposed to move on. And what? This lady gets to keep attacking her and disrespecting her? No. Like, that's so wrong. Lauren London, I love you, but you disgusted me when you was on Watch What Happens Live talking about you like Robin and you did feel like Wendy was antagonizing Mia. No. Mia was wrong. Period. She went to lunge at Wendy and she threw that glass at Wendy, like that drink, because she can't handle Wendy's mouth. That's what these cowards do on this show. Okay, i.e. Monique Samuels, she couldn't handle Candace's mouth. Okay? And that's why Monique got the karma she got going on Love and Marriage DC. Because you started out with this big fan base. Now everybody is against you because everybody really see you for who and what you really are. Okay, you a bully, except you over there trying to bully your husband. And I don't think that Monique is going to stay with Chris Samuels. I see that ending in a divorce. I'm not trying to wish any, ill will on anybody's marriage, but I can see it with her personality. She's very, selfish and very, demanding. It's too much. So they actually showed this unaired footage of Robin telling Wendy, oh, well, if she come and pop you in the mouth, it'll be because you keep doing this. Then y'all heard what GIZELLE has said to Candace the one time. Oh, well, the next time somebody hits you, then I'm going to just let them, or, I'll understand why they did it. And these was the main two that was against Monique attacking Candace. Right. So yes, very hypocritical. Andy, tried to hold their feet to the fire on that. To me, he didn't hold it there enough, but we got to thank God that Andy just thought enough to do it finally, because people was getting on him. You have two hypocrites on this show. And that's how you know these women, they don't stand for anything. GIZELLE and Robin, they are all about what's convenient. If I'm her friend, if I like her, ain't no sense of what's right and what's wrong. So Wendy called Mia a dumb A. Even if somebody hits dumb A Mia, did y'all hear that? And here goes GIZELLE. That's not nice. Shut up, GIZELLE. That's what Wendy is talking about. She was physically attacked. Nobody stood up for her, said it was wrong. I don't think Candace was there yet. Robin tried to call out Karen and said that Karen should have stood and been in charge of the girls, honey, and say, hey, you're wrong, Wendy, you're wrong, Mia. And Karen was like, don't be trying to throw me into it when you the one gaslighting the whole situation. But Karen, I'm going to say this to you. You need to stop kissing Andy Cohen's butt, because you were absolutely correct the first time you spoke. Robin gaslit that situation. She did with Wendy and Mia, because she did make Wendy question and doubt her reality, which is what gaslighting is. But here go Andy. No, that's the wrong word. You mean she threw fire on the fire? No, she did gaslight the whole situation. That's what a gaslight is. She did both. Put fire on top of the fire, put more lighter fluid on it, and gaslit Wendy, made her question and doubt her reality. Blaming her, putting the situation on her. This woman has been physically assaulted, not once, but twice. She's embarrassed. She's in her feelings. She's feeling away, but no empathy or no sympathy. None. Just blame. I've been in situations, not where somebody put their hands on me, because y'all know Miss Robinson is crazy. Okay, I am a fool. Okay, so ain't nobody put their hands on nothing, but I have been where Wendy has been, where I've been like, dang, am I the like, why ain't nobody having my back? Why ain't nobody speaking up on my behalf? Like, I've been there, guys, and it's a painful place to be in. They get on Robin for her aggressive behavior. Y'all remember where she was standing up, looking like she about to walk towards Wendy. And Wendy was like, yeah, like where I'm from, somebody stand up and y'all already arguing, like it's about to go down, or it can go down. And Robin said, no, I just stood because she kept telling me to stand. Robin, you are an aggressive woman, and Charisse held you back because she felt like she had to. End of story, because Charisse tried to lie about that, okay? But out here want to tell all this truth, so-called truth about Karen, but want to lie when it come to you. Girl, bye, okay? Andy gets on Ashley about her being on Monique's side when Monique was way more violent than Mia. And, you know, he was basically like, don't you see that there's a problem with that? And Ashley was like, well, nobody had Monique's back. Everybody took Candace's side, rightfully so. Don't say it's rightfully so, because you sure didn't think it was rightfully so when it went down in that moment. Okay, and you wasn't even out there when Monique and Candace had that fight. You wasn't even out there. And it really shouldn't be no fight between Candace and Monique. It was Monique showing how crazy she is, showing that she's a bully, like showing that she has serious, like, control issues, you guys. Something is wrong with Monique Samuels. I'm just saying. But Ashley, there's something wrong with you and your whole setup with Michael. So, honey, you don't know no better. Okay? I ain't gonna take you way too serious. No way. Okay? But yeah, you took Monique's side to be against Candace because you jealous of Candace. And, you know, that's how the cookie crumbles, you know? Ashley began talking about how nobody took Wendy's side, came to her defense. I will give Ashley that. It did appear to me that Ashley did check on Wendy. Not once, but several times throughout the season, you know, to make sure she was good, because they really was trying to ice her out of the group. So I will give Ashley that. And Ashley is very attracted to Wendy. Y'all go back and watch it. I think it was season 6, I'm believing. Yeah, when Wendy got her body done, that Ashley was looking at Wendy like, girl, I will sop you up with a biscuit. Okay. Child, Ashley had mentioned that part where Robin and Giselle said that Monique was a misreputation. I can't even get the can't even get the words out. A miss what? A bad representation, honey, of black women. I can't even get it out. And Candace said, "Yep, she was. Yeah, she is. She is a bad representation." Wendy said to Mia, she went to Mia's room to have a conversation with her so they could move forward with the group. She mentioned that she really could have, F Mia up, but she didn't because she has to think about the type of woman, that she is, and she's a mother. And I definitely understood where Wendy was coming from. But Wendy, in the future, if Mia is going to be on this show, girl, you can't trust her. You can't trust Robin. You can't trust Giselle. Candace, the same for you. So Giselle says after Wendy is crying, like, mind you, Wendy is crying. She's emotional. She is talking about what has already happened. And there's no empathy or sympathy from Giselle. All Giselle can say is, yeah, but when y'all bumping coochies and when y'all doing this and kissing, and girl, be quiet. That's like, stay on topic. Okay. And Wendy, I'm going to say this to you. You can't do all of that with these girls. You can't even have a moment where you sipping tequila and you want to act silly with the girls, because every little thing you say or do, they are going to use it against you. They really are. And a lot of people have been saying, well, Candace and Wendy, they act the way they do with the girls because they got to film with them. They got to make the show fun. I do get it, guys. I really do. But you really got to be cognizant of these group of ladies because they are not really y'all friends. Like, this show is just, it done got so toxic, you guys. Like, nobody is really friends except for maybe a few of them. So they had this colorism conversation. Andy talking about he thought about bringing in a moderator. So why didn't you? Okay, like, child, bye. Candace leads the conversation. So first Candace reads the definition of colorism. Then all the ladies agree to that definition. Candace says she has a reputation on this show as being somebody that will yell, that will cry, that will, really show a lot of emotion. And she feels like that is unfairly judged on this show. Yeah, because you up on a show with somebody like Giselle who don't show no emotion at all. She looking at you like you crazy, or you doing too much, or you making stuff more than what it is, like as it pertains to your husband. Like, Giselle, you guys, she really needs help. I'm being honest. Because when you can't be sensitive to how somebody else feels, like you have no empathy or sympathy within you, like for how another would like feel about something, like it's something like off about you. Giselle is selfish. If y'all notice, she only has it like for her daughters, herself, or her family, child. Candace feels like she's viewed as the crybaby, whereas she's seen Robin, participate in aggressive behavior with the girls, being all up in Ashley's face, having, being all up in Monique's face, and Monique had to threaten her with the umbrella. We've seen her pop off at Wendy. Like, we've seen a lot of aggressive behavior from Robin, and Robin is not judged as harshly. And Candace, feels like colorism may play a part. Now, I was confused when she said none of the women on the show are colorists. I'm like, you don't see it, but girl, I see it, okay? Ashley admitted that there is, some type of colorism, some type of favoritism towards, lighter skinned women. Giselle, Miss Can't Get It Right, honey, says, well, you're the emotional one in the group, Candace. What does that have to do with your skin color? Wendy says, I get what you're saying. Of course, Wendy, you get it because you have sympathy and empathy for your fellow castmate. This lady right here, Giselle, she doesn't. So Karen began sympathizing and empathizing with Candace and how she feels. I was like, okay, good, Karen. You come and look back to life, back to reality. She gets to talking about how her ancestors were raised on a plantation that she actually owns. And she understands the history of colorism. They had the lighter skinned women, working in the house. And then you had the field Negroes out in the hot sun, picking cotton. She told the history behind that. So Karen brought it on home when she said, based on Candace's pigmentation within her skin, she is judged way more harshly than maybe I or Robin would be judged based upon skin color, because lighter skin is favored and your content creator is light skin. And I get it. I've seen it. I actually was on a set where I was to play the crackhead role. And one of the producers for that particular show we were filming, I remember he said, he was talking about me. Well, she can't play the crackhead. And he's like telling my program coordinator at the time. Shout out to Brother Washington, honey, from Self-Expression Teen Theater. I'm going to see if I could get my people on my show. But I remember he kept telling him, yeah, she's way too pretty. She's bad. And at this time, guys, I'm about 15 years old. And at 15, you thinking you cute, but I didn't have the confidence that I have now. But the man was going on and on about me. Yeah, she's so pretty. She can't be no crackhead. And I had a girl that was dark skinned playing my sister. And as a matter of fact, guys, go look at that skit. It should be on my channel. You see a dark skinned girl playing my little sister, right? He wanted her to play the crackhead, and I believe it was because she was darker. And I remember feeling a way about that when I got home and I talked to my mom about it, and she was like, yeah, that's wrong. He shouldn't have. You always played that role, and you played it well. So he shouldn't have been saying all of that. Like, you shouldn't have been able to hear him say all of that about you. Now, he did favor me and said, I'm just so bad. I'm so pretty, and he can't see me playing a crackhead role. And because, guys, he couldn't see me playing that role, I remembered thinking to myself, I need to make it sexier. So I did. But yeah, he didn't want to see the rawness. Y'all remember how Halle Berry played the crackhead role, honey, and was it Mo Better Blues, I believe? Yeah, he didn't want to really see that. So, child, we had to give him calming, okay, and that's what that performance was based off of. Dorothy Dandridge, Carmen, Beyonce, she did Carmen. That's where I got like my whole rhythm. But yeah, I experienced that, and it didn't feel good. Even though I was favored in the situation, something about it didn't feel right. I had to be professional and do my job, but that never went away from me. I still remember those feelings that I felt to this day. Oh my God, I hope my girl don't hear them, saying this type of stuff. Cause they was yeah, that girl, they was saying her name. She should play the crackhead. And it was because she was darker, and that's not right, so. So Ashley begins trying to play semantics and play dumb. Well, how do we know that Candace is being treated the way she's being treated because maybe people don't like Candace's personality? No, you're threatened by Candace. I could tell you that right now. But I like what Karen said. She said, first we need to acknowledge Candace's feelings. Did you hear what Candace said? Candace said, this is how I feel. And yes, let's put a period at the end of that, because nobody on this show really understands how anybody feels about anything. It's like y'all don't care about people's feelings. You turn a blind eye to somebody's feelings. You are cold as ice as it pertains to feelings. Mia began saying, I agree with everything that Ashley said, and it's upsetting to me because I'm raising a brown girl, and child, you people can have dark-skinned babies. You may sleep with a dark-skinned man, Giselle. It don't mean that you don't have the tendencies within you. And it's something you guys very off about Giselle. I never got that from her them first couple of seasons. But it's something about Mia that seems very phony and fake. And so, girl, you could be over there raising that brown skinned daughter of yours all day long. It don't mean you ain't a colorist. Okay? It don't mean that. And to me, it's not just a color thing with me. To me, I think the characters on this show are just deplorable. Like, nobody acts like they are human. Like besides maybe Candace, Wendy, and Karen, like the rest of y'all just, ooh, child, it's just too much with y'all. They bring up Michelle Obama watching the show. Is she really watching these tacky heifers? They should have had her on here. I wish she ain't got time to be fooling with y'all, but she would have been a step up from Nicki Minaj. Okay, they got to saying, yeah, y'all know her little saying when, they go low, we go high, and, and the lady said, well, yeah, we went high in this segment. Here go Giselle. Yeah, let's go low now. Yeah, because, honey, you reside on the first floor. Okay, Wendy said we need to be more cognizant of dog whistles within this group. We just need to be more mindful. I guess she was talking about the colorism conversation. Girl, they ain't gonna be more mindful. They only speaking like this because Andy is in front of them. Okay? So next, honey, we see Miss Jacqueline, Mia's ex-best friend of over 30 plus years. She says this is the first time she has seen Mia since filming has wrapped. She said that her family is disgusted by Mia's behavior on the show. Jacqueline says she feels like Mia wants to drag her and she wants her to be beneath her, wants her to be her peasant. It's very much so giving Mariah and Quad, honey. It kind of has that up in there. I agree with Jacqueline. I think Mia does feel like she's better than Jacqueline. She got the husband. She got the money. She has the lifestyle. She ain't got it no more. I guess she'll be trying to get it back, honey, next season. But yeah, I think what Jacqueline said is very much so true. Mia says she felt very much so overwhelmed by all the support that Jacqueline needed. Jacqueline said that she practically gave her sister to Mia to watch the kids. Like, Jacqueline's sister is Mia's nanny. So she's just like, for you to create this storyline of me always using you or needing you, like it's some type of one-sided situation. But see, that's how people will do you, because I had a friend like that in the past, and they will really like rewrite history and try to make it look like y'all relationship is one-sided and you're just using them and they are not getting any benefits out of you. So I definitely see where Jacqueline is coming from. Andy asks Mia, when you lived with Jacqueline's family, did you feel like you were under her? And Mia said, no, they made me feel like I was one of their own. Andy asks Mia, are you still close to Jacqueline's parents? And Mia said she wished she was closer. Mia says it's been difficult, being close to them because she's been going through a lot this past year. Jacqueline called Mia out for being unhinged because, Mia just says what she says, and then the next day she wants to move on. And Mia, Jacqueline is right. You can't be like that. Like I said, Mia fits right in with GIZELLE and Robin because they see all types of stuff happen on this show and they just move right along like, well, it ain't got nothing to do with me, so oh well. She's in good company. Jacqueline called Mia out, honey, for sending a group text to everybody letting the girls know that Jacqueline's house is in foreclosure. She's on food stamps. Dang, Mia, why you do the girl like that? Jacqueline says to Mia, well, girl, your family business is all up in shambles. I was like, honey, tell us something we don't know. So Jacqueline says, honey, she has all the details, honey, of Mia's family business, honey, and how it's all in shambles. And she started pulling stuff out. I was like, oh, stuff. Mia brings out her little Pandora's box against Jacqueline. I said, now this right here is a show, honey, okay? Y'all better invite Jacqueline back for next season, okay? Because, something don't look right, honey. Miss Robinson gonna have to get to the bottom of all this, honey, okay? But anyways, you guys, that's all I have to say about all of that. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you thought about this here video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, Brand New, and I will check you guys out in the next video.